She was conspicuous by silence till now, but she has spoken. This is US Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. Remember the one who loves to visit Pakistan on government of Pakistan's money. Ilhan Omar has put out a statement on social media, X, formerly Twitter, calling this an assassination by Indian government, referring to Hardeep Singh Nijjar's killing. Silent on Pakistan's human rights abuses, Ilhan Omar loves to lecture India. Silent on Iran human rights abuses, loves to lecture India. Remember when recently the US House of Representatives had put out and had passed a bill to sanction Iran with regard to the mandatory hijab, human rights violations, and known for its brutalities. She was the one of the only three among US Congresswomen to be against that bill, to support Iran, to support Pakistan, and she loves to lecture India. And she says, I'm quoting here, US must support Canadian investigation. Let's bring in our managing editor, Gaurav Sawant, on the latest on this. Gaurav, this is hilarious if nothing else, because at this time, for her to be jumping in over Hardeep Singh Nijjar's killing, who was clearly an extremist, we've all seen the silence that she has shown on other countries that have definitely promoted extremism. What does one say to that? How do you view Ilhan Omar's statement against India and provoking USA to ensure that they support Canada?
So, as you very rightly pointed out, Pooja, Ilhan Omar has a record. She has a past record that speaks for herself. When she went to Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, she was paid by the Pakistani government to not just visit POJK, but also her statements that came out of there. There are reports in public domain that say when she visited Qatar, she was paid by the establishment there, and she has been in the past, sorted for her statements on Israel and her extremely critical statements on Israel. So it follows a pattern. She gets paid, and then she visits places and apparently makes these kinds of statements. You'd recall that she was thrown out. She was voted out of the U.S. House Foreign Affairs Committee because of some of her statements and her actions. So, whether this statement also comes as part of a certain toolkit would require further, investigation. But it is not out of the ordinary, because there are certain people, as you very rightly pointed out, she does not hit out at radical Islamist terror at all. She does not hit out or expose. I mean, if she's so much of a representative of the people on hijab, she does not speak up. But in this instance, she's speaking up. That just goes on to show that there is a pattern to her statements. Is it all being part of some kind of a toolkit? Is she being paid for it? That remains to be seen.
Very interesting, and I appreciate you joining us, Gaurav Sawant, basically putting it on the record. Remember, for Ilhan Omar to be speaking against India right now is not out of any concern for anyone, and definitely not for the Sikh community. There is a past record that speaks for itself, specifically on the silence that she has had on Pakistan's extremism and sheltering terrorism. She has visited Pakistan, and even in US Congress, there were people who were members who were not even aware. US government was not even aware of what reason was she visiting Pakistan. Silent on Iran's human rights abuses, but goes on to lecture India on Khalistan extremists. Appreciate Gaurav Sawant joining us on this.